And just like that, go ahead and introduce yourself, Jimmy.
How you doing, everyone? My name is Jimmy Maher. I am the director of design and creative at a company called Team Fun, and I have my own freelance company called Like Perfection. I've been a designer for 20 years, print, digital, social, video, photography. It doesn't really matter what it is. I've kind of had my hands into everything.
Okay, so I'm going to have so many questions. Where do you want to start, man? Do you want to, the theme of the conversation. I'm going to ask a bunch about AI and tools, and I love how creatives are just like yourself are just running with this. So where do you want to start? Okay, I'll throw you a softball.
Yeah.
Over the last few years, have you seen technology change the work you do at all?
Oh, for sure. That's like, yeah, wow, talk about a softball. How much time do you have? As far as changing workflow, as far as changing actual product, as far as, anytime you get a new tool in the toolbox, it's like, when you get a hammer, everything's a nail. And that's where we're at now, is everybody sees the shiny new tool and they're like, how do I use it? How do I use it? And everyone's going nuts. They're trying to, put the circle, in the square peg kind of situation here is what we're running into with a lot of things. But as far as, how it's changed my workflow and my workload, whether it's for better or for worse, I don't know. That's to be decided by the universe. But designers always, I feel, struggle with copy. Whenever we get projects, creative briefs, or anything like that, the biggest thing that we struggle with is copy and content. It's always like, hey, what are we putting in this? What are we designing? You want it to look pretty, but what are we doing? Oh, the copy's not final. I work with some clients where it's easier now for them to use AI to get their copy to be final. I love that. I think it's great. The other problems that I've run into, though, are people are using AI to check the box. So they use whatever they want, get you some garbage copy. You don't know it's garbage copy because it looks decently polished. You can tell it's AI, but it's whatever. You do everything, and then they come back, and then they end up rewriting it. So that part is interesting. And then as far as like basic ideation and things like that, I've used it to help a lot of people get unstuck. So my design teams, my whoever, the traditional, creative block where you're working on something and you hit that wall. Like, what do I do? What do I get next? Oh, I go for a walk. I take a shower. I go pet the dog. I go for a run. I don't know. Now it's kind of turned into, let me just shoot the breeze with my AI and maybe it'll spark something. Maybe it'll shake something loose. So I've used that personally. I've had my teammates use it. I've had my direct reports use it. I've had it kind of help with a lot of things. There's 100 different times that I've used it. We've used it to kind of push projects ahead. I could literally probably talk for hours about this and how I use it. It's insane. So yeah, I hope that answers that question.
Yeah, and so you and I are cut from the same cloth with that. Like I'm the guy that wakes up and reads my newsletter and goes, how can I play with that tool today? What is that I can do? I want to go and do something, but at the same time, that can be super overwhelming because you just kind of figure out how to use one, and guess what? The next one's there. Right?
Yep.
And yeah, what you thought was good could now be great. Like especially with image generation and video, it's such a moving target.
Yeah, image generation is another. You want to talk about incredible. Okay, so me as a person, designer, whatever, I do a lot of photography stuff on the side as well. I've been shooting forever. I used to work on some live events that were photo brands, and I have hung out with literally all of the Nikon ambassadors, all the Canon ambassadors, some of the craziest things that I see now. And I'm very much a purist. I like to shoot it. I like to see it, and that's it. I'll edit it and play with it. I can make a photo look crazy good in Lightroom. Fine. Not what I like. With AI now, you can just grab a really bad photo. You can throw it, even if it's out of focus, you can throw it in something, it's called Topaz. You can put it into that platform and it'll sharpen it up. I've actually taken low res, like old shitty cell phone shots, super old shots from probably 10 years ago. I think it was actually longer than that. We actually had to do the rusty surfboards. So a lot of people watching this will see rusty surfboards. Well, they wanted to do some vinyl for their entryways at their showroom here in San Diego. So they gave us a super old shot, and we basically just took that shot. We had to upscale it because it was getting printed about 80 inches by 60 inches. You can't take an old cell phone picture that was 120 kilobytes. It's got no pixel data. It's garbage. Well, you throw it into Topaz and it magically makes it 150 PPI, which is like your minimum for some of these prints, and it works. So just that technology itself blows people away. It's like, oh no, stuff before where you're like, we can't use this for print. Well, now all of a sudden you can. So stuff that wasn't a possibility for the past 20 years, all of a sudden gets put back on the table because I can take that low res crappy picture that you got from whoever 10 years ago. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's a great one. So I haven't played with that tool. So there's I told you before the call I was going to learn something new, and every single time, man, so
Topaz,
much
video and photo stuff. It'll blow your brain clear out of your skull. It's insane.
Can't wait to play with Topaz. Just one quick correction there. You had pronounced it San Diego. It's San Diego.
That's right. It's true. Being a Boston guy, I just moved out here 5 years ago. I got to learn these things.
It's too funny. So that's a cool tool. And then switch for me for a second into I want to talk about image generation as well too. So think about text to image, or you feeding into a tool. What are some ones that you've played with that you've enjoyed?
Yeah, all day. This is something I literally use all the time. I use tons of image generating AI. So with ChatGPT, OpenAI, ChatGPT, they use, I believe it's Dolly is who they use. I have used Perchance is one that's free, has no limits, no bumpers, no boundaries. You can literally create whatever you want. Yes, whatever you want. And it has all sorts of different filters and themes and everything like that, which is pretty wild. Perchance is probably, if you're looking for something without boundaries, that is a great thing to use. Now, use ChatGPT to generate your prompt, throw it into Perchance. Perchance spits out the images. You can play with the styles and get different things. I'll use it for client mockup and client renderings. If somebody comes to me and now granted, they're coming to us with kind of a crazy idea and we're like, yeah, we don't really know how locked in they are and if they're actually going to be doing it or if they're kicking tires. We'll take their logo, we'll throw it into pick one and just get some concept ideas. For the most part, for my day-to-day quick stuff, I'll use ChatGPT just because it's easier. I pay for it. It's in the program. But as far as idea creation, kind of a fun one, being a hockey guy, I actually created my hockey jerseys 2 or 3 years ago when AI was kind of on that bubble of everyone was using it. And I was like, let's play with it and see what it can do. It got me the idea to get it started. I'm looking to see if I have the jersey. And basically, the name of our hockey team is called Tracksuit Mafia. So I went back and forth with ChatGPT for, let's say 20 or 30 minutes. And I was like, I want it to look like an Adidas tracksuit. I want it to look like we have, it's open. There's chest hair. There's gold chains. There's, all this stuff. I want it to be the most ridiculous thing ever, but I want it to look like we're wearing tracksuits. Normally, that's something that I would have to sit on an iPad and sketch out. I would hate myself for a few hours. And then 2 days later, I'd finally come up with something I like. It did it in basically probably in under an hour is what it took me to kind of get to where I wanted to be for the idea. And then from there, you can throw into Illustrator and you design it and you can make it real life. So it cut the time to product, more than in half. That's kind of what it does now. That's what you use it for. You can get to the finish line a little quicker. Now, if you know what you're doing and you know how to design things, parameters, all the stuff that you can give it, so you can nudge it along quicker. If the average person just jumps in there and starts screaming at it, telling it what it wants, yeah, it'll get you something, but it's not as useful. Again, screwdriver is just a screwdriver, but once you become pretty skilled, it can be pretty useful.
Yeah, and so there's a couple of themes that you just said that keep coming up in these conversations. One is this whole methodology around garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly.
You're not taking the time to describe the chest hair, describe the chains, describe the open shirt. All of that is at its most basic form. It's just good prompting, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to be as specific as possible. So I find myself all the time when I'm using a tool like that, using a second window with name your LLM just to flesh my idea out.
Yeah,
Here's everything I'm thinking, this and this and this. And then I'll tell it, listen, I'm going to copy and paste into Nano Banana right now. Tell
yeah.
me exactly what the perfect prompt would be. And it's going to add stuff like lighting and composition and perspective and things that I wouldn't think to prompt out in the image engine. So then you just copy from LLM, paste into a specific tool, and the outputs are like mind blowing.
Oh, it's unbelievable. The thing that I love is you can tell it what kind of camera you want it to shoot on. You know, old Pano from the 70s, and it knows and it renders that style. It's insane. Yeah, you're basically using 3 tools. You know, you're using a minimum of 2. It's like one to write your prompt, one to get your prompt good, and then one to process it.
And then there's the output though too, right? Like that's with a guy like yourself, like depending on, you know, if your team jersey needed a logo to it, there's still that extra step on the output side to take a flat JPEG and turn that into something vectorized or something that you can take then and get into production, get it over to your, you know, and then put it out into the world too, right? Because a flat JPEG isn't going to get you all of your sizes, resolutions.
Doesn't get your seams, your, you know, underneath the arms, doesn't get the, you know, the there's a lot of parts that it can't get. And the JPEGs that you get from there are not high res.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet.
Yeah, and that's where again the creatives that understand those working tools that are behind, that aren't AI, those working tools that help with the outputs and exports and, you know, have template files and all those things to get production ready. That's still where the human has to be in the loop, or you're going to run up to a wall. But what's nice is I'm seeing clients come to me with, hey, I was up until 2 a.m. and like, what do you think? Right. And then at least that's like, okay, well, we can work off that, you know, and make it real.
I will say I deal with a lot of, not to like pump my own tires, I deal with some like pretty high level people, you know, CEOs and whatnot of these companies, and they'll come to me with an idea. And it's kind of nice because now instead of like a really bad napkin drawing, I get like a really bad ChatGPT idea, which is like, ooh, I can use this though. This is functional. So it's like, you know, I hate saying the bar napkins evolved, but like the bar napkins evolved and I'm kind of okay with it. Like, here, play with this for an hour, have some fun, come back to me and let me know. So now, granted, that's not all of them. I do still have to sit there and handhold, but while I'm on meetings with people, I can literally handhold, prompt, and then have little images start spitting out to kind of get the ideation flowing, to get people to get creative and to get to that finish line. Like, the cool thing with AI right now, a lot of people, and you probably run into this, is people will come up to you or when you're meeting and talking to them like, I'm not creative. And it's like, stop it. Creativity is a muscle. You just don't use the muscle. You do all this other stuff. Like, you're really good in Excel and good with numbers and people. Well, I'm really good with creative and drawing that out of you. This is just another tool to help get that out of people. I think it's I don't know. I love it and I hate it. I love it and I hate it. I can see the side where I hate it. I could give you so many horror stories. Or, you know, the side that you love, where it enables people that have an idea and a budget, and they can get you an idea now. Whereas before you'd have to have 3 meetings, a bunch of sit downs, and you'd have to pull it out of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and then on the other side, so moving on from kind of the marketing into the operation side of things, what's fascinating with that, and I'm going to ask you the question because I know you're, you know, call it an entrepreneurial mindset. You're always looking to grow your business, your network, and personal brand. The automations that we can put in place to expedite that and to make sure that there aren't redundancies and make sure that you're doing the things you said you were going to do at the times you said they were going to do them. Like, you can really create machines around some of these. So my next question to you is, have you put in any AI that is autonomous, that does something for you?
Yeah. So this is, it's kind of funny. I'm actually going through it again with a company with Team Fun right now. So like my thing is like, I'm a car guy. I like building stuff and I like making it fast and I like making it efficient. And I like, you know, I like shaving off 1/8 of a second to be faster. How can I do this? Tune the suspension. So right now we are doing basically getting HubSpot and ClickUp to talk to each other. So we are making it so that, again, this is like super high level, but like sales reaches out, sales closes the deal closes, it triggers something in ClickUp, thing in ClickUp goes to the creatives go, okay, I have this job task. They go back and forth internally, blah, blah, blah. Then it gets sent to the client approves it, tick ClickUp task, then moves to production in ClickUp. we've created basically an agent that ushers along the project and creates just full transparency for the company. So, let's say we've got 72 projects right now. Well, okay, cool. They were all, started off in HubSpot, and then they went to ClickUp, and then the AI within ClickUp basically reroutes it, tells it what to do based on a couple parameters that are put in there. It's all conditional formatting. So it's like job comes in, it's branding. Okay, well, branding projects go specifically to Jimmy. Okay, well, if it's a web project, well, it goes to Jimmy and the web team. If it's a promotional product that's going to require operations, well, it needs to tag operations, Jimmy, and, these other 3 people. If they're building we have all these different things. And for me, it's great because now it's just an AI agent that is literally just routing all the traffic. So instead of having to have, me do it or another person do it, it's just automatically done. And being able to adjust those parameters on the fly as the company grows or shrinks or whatever, you can manage it, which is nice. And just being able to go in and have a conversation with it, stupid as that is, I talk to my AI stuff a lot. It just gives you it's full transparency. I ask it a question, it gives me an answer. It doesn't try to justify its job to me. It doesn't try to make itself seem important because it's doing this task. It says, I did 72 of these. Here's where these went. Here's where these went. Here's what we're doing. And then you can ask it, can we do this more efficiently? And it'll tell you yes or no. Now, whether or not it's right, that's another story. We're not there yet with AI, but it'll at least give you options and how you can reroute things to actually get to a little bit more operational efficiency. So doing HubSpot and ClickUp together has been super fun. It's a pretty cool project, and using AI agents to control your workflow is it's pretty wild.
Yeah, we do kind of a version of that too. Like one of our things that I'm the most proud of really is that we always say like AI powered, human driven. That's our tagline on everything we do. So anytime we're putting something in, you've always got a human in the loop. But because we cover the gambit of our 15 elements, there's a lot of different people on a lot of different projects. Not every client uses each of the 15. Some are 1, 2, 3, and whatever it might be. We found that, email is such a blunt tool and it's so misused, and you can get these crazy email strings going and it's confusing, and oops, I forgot to put an attachment in, and then, it's like email's a blunt tool. However, getting a client to adopt a new tool, be it something like a ClickUp or using a CRM or some kind of, they won't do it because that's just not their workflow. But what we realized is a lot of our clients will text. So, and most people are pretty confident texting, and it's a quick, it's an easy, it's summarized, it's whatever. So that's how we do our triaging. All of our clients will get, and we use WhatsApp most times, but they'll get an invite to a WhatsApp, and the value prop is invite anybody you want on your team. You have access to our entire team. Anything you need, drop it in the WhatsApp. Behind the WhatsApp is what you were just describing. It triage, it tickets, it routes, and it makes sure that the right resource gets back into the chat immediately. So like our speed on these kind of things, and you have to, like when you put automations into a business, you have to be available because things can break, people can update, it's what it is. But having that speed, that connectivity, and that automation between client and resource is super powerful. And then once it's ticketed, it doesn't go in the trash, right? Like you have to follow that through. You have to get back to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And we love that. And then the other thing is just scheduling. Like, it's getting so awesome how you can, proactively get into people's calendars and bring clients in and bring projects in and update deadlines. And it's a whole new world for that side of things.
The fact that it's instant it's terrifying. It's awesome. But it's, now your workloads they're evolving, which is interesting.
Yeah. So last thing, again, want to be respectful of your time. Anything we haven't covered, anything you're excited about, anything you want to plug, the stage is all yours.
Oh man, that's a huge conversation. And as far as anything that I would want to plug, me personally, I am always looking for new adventures. I am currently on the job market. I know that's not popular. It's not a surprise. Everybody at my company knows. They may not like it, but that's okay. I'm a business just like everybody else, just like they're a business, just like every other company out there. I'm just out there looking for my new adventure, looking for a forever home. I've been kind of playing and looking in the golf world, just trying to get in there, but basically just looking for a new company.
say that more. Let's manifest the shit out of this right now. What would the perfect next adventure be?
You know, it's funny. I've had this conversation with so many people. The perfect, honest, I know this sounds really, really friggin' stupid, man. Once I turned 40, which was July, and it was earlier than this, but whatever. I realized I really just want to work with good people. And I know that's crazy, but God damn it, I wish I realized that sooner in my career. Because what the fuck? Like, I just want to work with good people who love who love what they're working on, the product. And it's not even like an obsessive love. Like, that would be great. I don't need you to eat, sleep, and breathe it, and we talk about it 24/7. It's fine. It helps. But I want to work with people that are passionate about what they do. I want to work with people that love their product. Like, they show up to work and they're trying to do something. They're not just checking a box, half-ass and everything. I don't want that. I want to work on a product that people love and a product that I love. Like, I've been applying to Titleist and TaylorMade. They're literally down the street from me. I drive by them all the time. I've played golf with those dudes. They don't even realize it, but I've played with them because they've done like charity events, or they've just been at certain places that I'm at, and they're doing their team outings, and I always bump into them. Just trying to get in with TaylorMade or Titleist. Every time I've talked to somebody, they're like, "Hey man, you're too senior. It's terrifying. Like, you're way overqualified for this." And it's like, I don't care. I want to work on something I love, and you guys have an amazing company. You have amazing people. I want to be a part of that. I don't care about titles. I hate titles. Titles are honestly, they're a joke. Everybody calls themselves a director of whatever on LinkedIn. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't care. I'm a Jimmy. You need a Jimmy? Yeah, I do everything. I shoot video. I design everything. I have crazy fucking ideas. I do everything. That's the problem. And people are like, there's no way you do. And I'm like, okay, man, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's such a crazy concept that people like, so you can talk, you can sell, you understand these high level concepts, you understand business, you can design, you can create this, that, websites, print stuff, you've designed clothing, all this different stuff. And they just don't believe it. And that's fine, because eventually someone's going to believe it, and they'll be like, we're so pumped we got this dude. He's got so much knowledge. And it's all, you want to know why I have all this knowledge? Because they say yes to people. It's like, they give me a project, like, and then this is a true story. Somebody asked me to design a butt plug, and I was like, oh yeah, sure. What the fuck? What do I got to lose? Yeah, we'll source a person who manufactures them, because once you get into that like world of manufacturing, you can find somebody. It was for a colon cancer prevention foundation. So I kind of came up with the idea. I was like, you guys should do butt plugs. It'd be hilarious. And they fucking bought it. Short version, you can design anything. Just say yes. And that's what I did. I just say yes to everything. And eventually, like AI, you say yes to it. You start gathering all these tools and all this stuff, and you're like, all right, I have like $10,000 worth of camera equipment here, because I just said yes to somebody when I was like 18 who was like, my photographer canceled my wedding. Can you shoot my wedding? I was a skateboarder. I used to run a skateboard and snowboard shop, so I kind of had some camera stuff. I was like, yeah, I'll help you out. And then they were like, that was really good. And then a bunch of people at their wedding were asking me. So then I ended up going on like this tear of shooting weekends. It was a whole thing. But yeah, man, you just say yes, and eventually you learn a whole bunch of cool stuff and meet a bunch of cool people. And now I'm trying to say yes to the golf industry because I love golfing. Like, I moved to Southern California so I can play golf. Ridiculous.
So I love that, and I think that's all going to happen, dude. I think that just the only thing I'll tell you about my journey is, and you and I have a lot in common in this, is, and I do love to say yes. My wife will tell you she has been trying to deprogram that.
Same dude.
Like, shut it down. And yeah, she's right, because but you know, I'll also kind of throw it back as we live a pretty great life though too, right? Like, you bless and you get blessed. Like, that's just the way it goes. So but that being said, man, I think that the right opportunity is right around the corner. Your energy is 10 out of 10. I think we're right on the cusp of needing to reorganize that corporate structure, because the titles will be, you think they're worth nothing now. Watch when the most junior guy in there is actually the heavy hitter.
Oh yeah,
he understands the tools, he understands the trends, and
he can adapt. That's the number one thing I tell people. I'm like, that guy that you're sleeping on that you think is because he's using Riz and telling everybody they're mid, that guy, he casually can use all the stuff you struggle with. It's like, you need that guy. Keep that guy.
No cap.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, man, that's all I got. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean, dude, I could burn your whole entire day. If you want to do this again, if you need
Yeah, we'll do
content,
it
you let me know. I'm always around. This has been super fun. Thank you for your time. Thank you for chatting it up. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I can hit stop recording. Just one sec.